There comes a moment when you look in the mirror and think, my hair just doesn't sit the way it used to. It may feel thinner, flatter, and somehow less you than before. You try a mousse, you try a new brush, maybe you even copy a style you saw on someone younger, and yet, it still falls wrong. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. So many mature women are not struggling with thin hair itself, but with the way it's being styled. In this video, we're going to gently press pause on old habits and patterns that are secretly working against your hair. Together, we'll walk through 4 simple, practical steps to stop styling your thin hair the wrong way and start bringing back soft fullness, light movement, and a healthy, modern look. You don't need complicated products, you don't need hours in front of the mirror, and you definitely don't need to fight your hair. Think of this as a reset. A chance to understand what your hair needs now, at this stage of life, and how a few small changes can make a big difference. You deserve to feel confident when you run your fingers through your hair, when you catch your reflection in a shop window, or when you step into a family gathering. So make yourself comfortable, take a breath, and let's explore how you can stop styling your thin hair wrong and gently guide it back to looking fuller, softer, and more alive again. Choosing the right cut as your foundation. Before any product, blow dryer, or brush touches your hair, the real magic starts with the cut. Many mature women are still holding on to styles that suited them 15 or 20 years ago. And those cuts may have worked beautifully when the hair was naturally thicker and fuller. But as we age, hair often becomes finer, sometimes more fragile, and it simply behaves differently. If your haircut doesn't respect that change, you will constantly feel like you're styling against your hair instead of with it. So the first simple step is to choose a haircut that gives your thin hair the support and lift it needs. Imagine your hair like a delicate fabric. If the fabric is light and airy, you wouldn't expect it to drape in the same way as a heavy, thick cloth. Thin hair is similar. Long, heavy lengths can weigh it down, making it look even flatter at the top and more see-through at the ends. A better choice is often a cut that takes off some length and adds gentle structure, such as a softly layered bob around the shoulders or slightly above, or a shorter, face-framing style that brings the attention up and forward. This doesn't mean going too short, or losing your femininity. It means choosing a shape that lets your hair naturally lift instead of collapse. One common mistake is asking for heavy, chunky layers, thinking they will create volume. On thin hair, thick layers can actually remove too much weight in the wrong places, leaving the ends scraggly and the top flat. What you want instead is subtle, well-blended layering that removes bulk only where needed and helps the hair curve and move around your face. Another helpful detail is the ends. Blunt ends on very long, thin hair can look harsh and tired, while softly textured ends on a medium-length cut can look fuller and more youthful. Your part line also plays a role. A severe, sharp middle part can sometimes show more scalp and exaggerate thinness. A slightly off-center or softly zigzag part can break up that line and help your hair look denser at the roots. When you sit in the salon chair, talk to your stylist about creating a shape that gives you natural lift at the crown, gentle movement around your cheeks and jawline, and a length that doesn't drag your hair down. When your cut is right, styling suddenly becomes easier, faster, and far more forgiving. Finally, remember that the right cut should feel like a support system, not a battle. If you constantly need hairspray, rollers, and tools just to make your hair look okay, that's a sign that the foundation may not be working for you anymore. Allow yourself to evolve. A thoughtful, modern cut designed for thin, mature hair is one of the kindest things you can do for your overall look and your daily confidence. Prepping your hair, shampoo, conditioner, and product mistakes. The second simple step to stop styling your thin hair wrong happens long before you pick up a brush. It begins in the shower and at your bathroom sink. Many women unknowingly weigh their hair down with the wrong products, and then feel frustrated when no styling trick seems to create lift. Thin, mature hair has 2 big needs: lightness at the roots and nourishment that doesn't drag it flat. Finding that balance is key, and it starts with choosing the right shampoo and conditioner. If you're using heavy, ultra-rich shampoos and conditioners designed for very dry, coarse hair, they may be leaving a film on each strand. On thicker hair, that can sometimes be useful. On fine hair, it often means immediate collapse. Instead, look for shampoos that say volumizing, lightweight, or for fine hair. These formulas are usually designed to cleanse without coating the hair too heavily. When you condition, focus the product on the mid-lengths and ends, where your hair truly needs moisture, and keep it away from the roots. This simple shift alone can stop your hair from falling flat right after you wash it. After rinsing, gently towel dry your hair by pressing, not rubbing, to avoid roughing up fragile strands. Then comes styling product, and this is where many women are stuck in habits from years ago. Thick gels, heavy creams, or too much oil can make fine hair look stringy and separated. Instead, choose light mousses, root-lifting sprays, or airy volumizing foams. Apply a small amount, starting at the roots where you want lift, and then lightly through the lengths. It should feel almost weightless on your hands. If your hair feels slippery or coated, it's probably too much. Another mistake is skipping heat protection. Thin hair is more vulnerable to damage from blow dryers and hot tools. Once hair becomes damaged, it breaks more easily, and that breakage makes it look even thinner. A lightweight heat protectant spray can shield your strands without weighing them down. Look for one labeled for fine hair or weightless protection. Mist it lightly before blow drying or using any hot tool. Protecting your hair means you keep more of what you have, which is the most natural way to maintain fullness. Don't forget the frequency of washing. Overwashing can strip your scalp and hair, making the strands drier and more fragile. Underwashing, especially with heavy styling products, can cause buildup that makes hair look flat and dull. Aim for a rhythm that keeps your scalp comfortable and your hair fresh, whether that's every other day or 2 to 3 times a week. If your roots get oily quickly, a light dry shampoo at the scalp can refresh volume without another full wash. When you get your product routine right, your hair will start to respond with more softness, a little more bounce, and easier movement. It's not about buying everything on the shelf. It's about choosing a few gentle, lightweight helpers that let your thin hair breathe while still supporting it. This is how you set the stage for styling that actually works, instead of feeling like you're fighting against your own hair every single day. Blow drying and styling techniques that actually add volume. The third step is all about how you handle your hair when it's wet, and how you shape it as it dries. Many mature women are still using the same blow-drying motions they learned decades ago. Brushing everything straight down, pulling the hair flat, and blasting it with hot air until it gives up and lies there. Thin hair cannot fight gravity like thicker hair can. The way you direct the heat, the brush, and even your head position can completely change how full your hair looks. Start by flipping your routine just a little. When your hair is damp, not soaking, gently lift sections at the roots with your fingers and aim the dryer from underneath, not from above. Think of it as encouraging each section to stand up slightly before it falls. Using a nozzle on your dryer helps control the airflow so it doesn't frizz the hair. If you're comfortable, you can bend forward and dry your hair with your head upside down for a short time, using your fingers to lightly shuffle the roots. This gives an immediate boost at the crown. The brush you choose matters too. Very small round brushes can create tight curls that don't suit thin hair, while very large ones can pull it too straight. A medium-sized round brush or a gentle vent brush is often perfect. As you dry a section, place the brush under the hair, lift it away from the scalp, and direct the airflow at the roots first. Once the roots are dry and lifted, you can smooth the ends lightly. Avoid over-straightening the hair shaft. A little bend at the ends creates softness and volume. Heat setting is another overlooked step. After you blow-dry a lifted section, hold it in place for a few seconds as it cools, either around the brush or gently cupped in your hand. Hair sets its shape as it cools, not while it's hot. This simple pause can make the volume last much longer. If you like using Velcro rollers, place a few at the crown and front sections while the hair is still warm. Then let them cool completely before removing them. This gives thin hair a gentle, natural-looking lift without harsh lines. Avoid the temptation to finish with a heavy, stiff hairspray that freezes everything into place. On thin hair, that can create a helmet effect and highlight every gap. Instead, use a light, flexible spray or a texturizing mist, held at a distance, to give gentle hold and movement. Scrunch very lightly at the ends if you want a softer, more relaxed finish. If your hair tends to separate into skinny pieces, spray a little product into your hands, and then lightly pat or scrunch, rather than spraying directly onto the hair. Finally, pay attention to your part after styling. Sometimes, simply shifting your part slightly to the opposite side after blow-drying can instantly increase fullness at the front. This works because the roots are used to lying one way, and flipping them gives a natural lift. Stand back from the mirror, look at your overall shape, and adjust with your fingers rather than overworking with brushes. Gentle, thoughtful movements are your best friends when styling thin hair. With the right techniques, you'll find your hair can hold more body than you expected, without aggressive or exhausting effort. Finishing touches, color, texture, and everyday habits. The fourth and final step to stop styling your thin hair wrong is all about the subtle details that pull everything together. Your color choices, the texture you create, and the daily habits that either support or sabotage your efforts. Sometimes it's not one big mistake, but a combination of small things that makes thin hair look lifeless. By adjusting these finishing touches, you can bring softness, depth, and light back to your overall look in a very natural way. Let's begin with color. Very dark, solid shades can make thin hair look harsher and flatter, because they show more contrast against the scalp. On the other hand, extremely light, overbleached hair can become fragile and break easily, which only increases thinness. The sweet spot is often a soft, blended color close to your natural shade, with gentle highlights or lowlights to add dimension. When light catches different tones in your hair, it creates an illusion of depth and fullness. Ask your colorist for natural, fine highlights around the face and through the top, rather than thick, chunky streaks. Texture is another powerful tool. If you always flatten your hair straight or pull it back tight, you might be pressing away the natural body it still has. Instead of fighting your hair's texture, try working with it. If your hair has a slight wave, encourage it with a light curl cream or salt-free texture spray, scrunching very gently while it dries. If it's naturally straight, you can add a soft bend with a large curling iron or hot brush, focusing on mid-lengths and ends rather than twisting the entire strand. The goal is to create soft movement, not perfect curls. This movement reflects light in different directions, making your hair look more alive. Everyday habits also matter more than we realize. Wearing very tight ponytails or clips in the same spot every day can stress the hair and scalp, leading to breakage or thinning at the hairline. Try looser styles, soft scrunchies, and gentle clips that don't pinch. Give your hair a rest from harsh accessories when you're at home. At night, consider sleeping on a smooth pillowcase, like satin or silk, to reduce friction and help keep fragile strands from snapping as you move. Another small but powerful habit is how you touch your hair during the day. Constantly brushing, pulling, or running your fingers through it can disturb the volume you created and add unnecessary oil from your hands. Instead, style it in the morning, then trust it. If you need a small refresh, tilt your head forward, gently fluff the roots with your fingertips, and let it fall back into place. This will revive the shape without overworking it. Finally, remember that your overall health shows in your hair as well. Staying hydrated, eating nourishing foods, managing stress, and speaking kindly to yourself all play a part in how you feel when you look in the mirror. Thin hair is not a flaw, it's simply a texture. When you choose color, texture, and habits that support it, your hair can still look elegant, modern, and very much alive. These finishing touches are the gentle embrace that holds all the other steps together and allows your true beauty to shine through, softly but confidently. Final thoughts. When your hair begins to change, it can feel like a quiet loss that's hard to put into words. But what you've seen today is that you are not powerless, and you don't have to keep styling your thin hair in ways that work against you. With the right cut, lighter products, gentle styling techniques, and thoughtful finishing touches, your hair can soften, lift, and frame your face in a way that feels authentically you. Remember, this season of life is not about chasing the hair you once had. It's about honoring the hair you have now and treating it with patience and kindness. Every small adjustment you make is really a message to yourself. I still deserve to feel beautiful. I still deserve to feel confident. Let that guide you more than any trend or rule. As you move forward, give yourself time to experiment. Try a new part, speak openly with your stylist, and notice how your hair responds to gentler choices. You may be surprised by how much life there still is in every strand when you stop styling it wrong and start working with it instead of against it. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to Timeless Wisdom Path.